about TED Talkers, where I share my life experiences. I hope you find my stories entertaining, informative, or relatable. So today I'm going to talk about how I sold my soul.
Stop. What do you mean by that?
No, back when I was younger and I would hear people say, oh, that celebrity sold their soul or so and so sold their soul. I honestly imagine the devil, sitting in his chair and just, watching us go on with our lives. And then you'll be like, that soul looks pretty. I want that soul. And then maybe you'd either approach the person himself, if the person is really important, if he really is into this soul, or you'd send one of his agents to the person to say, how much for your soul? And then the person like, no, I'll take the X amount of money for it. They take the soul, put it in a mason jar or in a work jar, put it somewhere safe, so they don't lose this person's soul. And the person gets so much money, they run around the world spending their riches that they got for selling their souls.
So I guess I'll just give you some money and you can give me these shoes and
But now that I'm older, I see that there are things that we do in our daily lives that are equivalent to selling our souls. Or maybe that's what people actually were referring to when they were saying so and so sold their souls. But then we just got carried away and started, envisioning people chanting and doing things. Maybe there is chanting really when people sell their souls, but it's not the chanting and the sacrifices that brings the money, but the fact that you now doing all these things that are not dignified, that's kind of like selling your soul, I think. So I'm going to talk about the times that I've sold my soul. So I think the day that I sold my soul is the day that I decided I'm going to get a job far from where my family is and live there. So I live very far from my family, and I think this decision is equivalent to selling my soul, because I'm missing out on so many changes that my family is going through. So my siblings have had children. Like my older sister had a child. I wasn't there to support it. I wasn't there to support her when she got married. And I wasn't there to support her if she was going through a first pregnancy and had a first child. When I finally saw my nephew, he was a big boy running around on his own. And my friend was wondering, who is this lady calling me my baby, my babe? And then now she has a second child. I haven't seen this child people. I haven't seen this boy. And he's big now. He's like absolutely big. And my other siblings also have children now. Children that I haven't met. Actually, my older brother also had a daughter around the same time that my older sister had his son. And I saw both these kids when they were much older. As I said, they were already running around. My niece was already talking. She could have full conversations with me. And I wasn't there to watch these children go, besides what I see on pictures and videos that my family shares with me. So I think I sold my soul. My parents are getting older, my siblings are getting older, and I'm missing out on all these things. Guys, I think I sold my soul. The second time that I sold my soul is when I decided to start a YouTube channel. So until the end of October, I'd never really thought of starting a YouTube channel. I of course, I'm a big consumer of YouTube material, but I never thought I would start a YouTube channel. That was like, no, it wasn't an option for me. But then one day, I was telling my older sister, you know what? This soul gotta go. I'm going to sell this soul. I'm going to research who is buying souls at the moment. How much are souls going for on the market? Because I'm ready to sell my soul. And then we came up with the idea of YouTube. So here we are. I started my YouTube channel. But now, 24/7, except the time that I'm sleeping, I'm trying to come up with YouTube video ideas. I have like a lot of stories to share. Because living far from home, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. When you live far from home, you inevitably have a lot of stories to share. You've been through things, and You can write a book on experiences from being far away from home. So I have a lot of stories to share, but now I have to sift through these stories and see which ones are YouTube friendly, and I also don't want to, some of these stories, most of them involve other people. So I'm trying to think which of these stories can I share without making other people uncomfortable. That's the last thing I want. And how can I share this story without, without feeling like I'm exposing someone. So I'm constantly trying to come up with YouTube days and like going through all these processes like that I just mentioned now. If night how many times at work, I'll be working, and then I quickly grab my notebook and scribble in there. I'm sure my colleagues have been wondering, what is she scribbling in that in that notebook? It's just taken up so much of my time. So I think I sold my soul. And other things that I've observed other people do that I think are equivalent to soul selling. I've seen people, they've always wanted, a certain job, or we've always wanted to be in a certain position. And then when they finally get into that position, they lose themselves. So it can be, someone getting a new job and then they don't spend as much time with their family as they used to do. Like I've heard of people, like when they get home, their children are in bed, and then when they leave the following morning, the children are still asleep. Not because these children sleep a lot, but it's because of the times that these people leave home and come back home. And another thing that I've realized people start to do, for example, someone, you've at work, you've always been on the same level with this person. Not necessarily me, it's things that I've observed. But there are people, they've always been on the same level with their other colleagues. And there are things that when people are on the same level in a company, things that they experience, right? You have shared experience. They're called shared experiences, okay? So you have always been on the same level as colleagues, and you have shared experiences. You have things that happen to you at work that you'd rather wouldn't happen. And then one of you leaves that group of colleagues, they get promoted, they get a better position in the company. And then they start doing things that they saw they would never do, things that they used to think they were wrong when other people in higher positions were doing them. I don't know if you're following there. So I kind of feel like that's another form of soul selling. If getting a certain job or getting a certain position changes the person that you are, you sold your soul. I feel like it's equivalent. You sold your soul there. So there are a lot of things that we do as people that I think are a form of soul selling. But we are quick to judge, celebrities and certain rich people for self selling. But we don't really take a step back and look at the things that we do ourselves that could be soul selling. There's another thing. There's another thing that I just got reminded of when I talked about judging celebrities and rich people. Like, I'm not going to say African culture. Yes, it's not really an African culture thing. Maybe it's just where I come from. There's this term called kuromba in Shona that refers to someone, I think, like someone gets a snake, or someone kills a family member, or just a random person, and they use that person's like body parts, or I don't know what they take from killing that person, and then they start making money out of it. They start making money out of this snake that they got, or the person that they killed. They start making money out of doing one of those things. I've always been a skeptic when people say someone akaromba, because people work really hard for their money, but they're not going to announce to all of you that today I didn't sleep, studying so I can better my life, or today I didn't sleep trying to brainstorm ideas on how I can improve my business, or my family and I didn't sleep, or my wife didn't sleep, or these things that people do for them to to advance themselves in life and start living better lives. So I always think, when people are saying, oh, someone akaromba and stuff like that, I think people should stop doing that. I think when people say that, it's not jealousy or, I think people are just misinformed. People are just misinformed. People need to start like being more open-minded and starting to actually get to know the person, because some people that I remember growing up, we used to dismiss as vanhu vakaromba. Like, some people don't even know a thing about that person, how they spend their day, where they've been. People work hard for their money. I even said this to like my flatmate the other day when we were having this conversation about kuromba. I said, you are away from home, right? And I see you study all night long. That boy didn't sleep at that time. You would be studying the entire night. As I said to him, I see you, how hard you're working. But then imagine now, these people at home, they haven't seen you for the past 10, 15 years. And then when you finally go back home, you have this luxury car, you're doing well for yourself, you're spending all this money. And then people are just going to say, this one, akaromba. But they never saw you, how hard you work to get where you are. So people sold their souls for money, and now they're making all this money. People don't really look at how people actually work hard for their money. And when the person loses all that money, people also have a story to say. People also have something else to say about how this person lost their money. So even in the kuromba situation, when the person finally loses their money, they also have something to say about how this kuromba they did cost them their money or cost them their lives. But I think, maybe people do sell their souls for billions, or people do kill other people or buy snakes to make money. But I think a lot of people who have been dismissed as people who sold their souls, or people who did certain despicable things to make money,
Life is full of disappointments. For some people.
actually didn't do all that. They just worked really hard to be where they are, and we just dismiss them as, horrible people who did horrible things to make money. Probably the worst that they did is just working really hard and not sharing with the world what they were doing to get to where they are now. Okay, enough of this rant. Really, enough of me talking about selling my soul, because I'm not really coming up on solutions on how to make money, am I? Okay, bye.